All right, welcome to the weekly beginning market analysis for 16 May. What we're going to do tonight is go over updates to the market since last week, identify setups for this week, and then we'll be back on tomorrow night, same time, 8:30 p.m. Central Time to give you all your DMA, the daily market analysis. All right, first pair we're going to cover is going to be CJ. All right, looking at the weekly time frame, they have given us another peak. Right, last week I mentioned that they had exceeded this one. Right, this first leg right here was at the high level. They came back in the Bollinger Band, and now they are above the high level line and hitting the top Bollinger Band. That's what we like to see, and they've issued us a moon right here at the top. So we'll go down to the day time frame. So you see TDI is right below that high level line, right? In and out, crossing that red EMA, but all together respecting this outside structure right here. You see the candle is getting smaller and smaller right along this 5 EMA. All right, so we'll drop down to the 4-hour time frame. So we got first leg here, and we got our second leg structure here. You see that the first leg, it was right below the high level line. Second leg was below the market baseline. What I'm expecting them to do this week is come down here towards the bottom Bollinger Band, or stop here at this red EMA, come back up and retest, right? Giving us essentially a 22, right? So first leg, second leg M over here, first leg, second leg M over here before dropping. All right, and this is the range I'm expecting them to reverse in. All right, we move on to NJ. Any questions on that pair? All right. NJ essentially the same thing, right? Only difference between CJ and NJ, this outside structure right here has been respected, right? They have not exceeded it thus far. So over here, even though it looks like it was still climbing, they shot way up here in 1 week, right? And came back down, right? Giving us that outside structure. So over here, if you hover over, TDI popped outside the Bollinger Band right below the high level line inside, and then made his way back up. So it's still got some space in between TDI and the top Bollinger Band to move up. So it could potentially keep climbing, right? But this right now is our structure. This is where we're expecting that reverse to happen. So we'll drop down to the day time frame. We got 1, 2, 3, right? Essentially giving us a head and shoulders pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. And you see it's all within that top Bollinger Band, right? And the hits are getting a lot shorter. So this one is taller than this one, and this one is taller than this one. It's essentially a decline down from this first point to this third point right here. So we'll drop down to the 4-hour time frame. So this was the head. This is the right shoulder. What we're waiting on over here is for this second leg. You see that TDI is on its way back up now. It's come down a little bit. It's right here at this red EMA. I'm expecting it to come back up, which price action will look like coming up here, giving us that second leg. It could fall short and stop like it has here. See, first leg, second leg, a lot shorter. Doesn't always have to be flush, right? So it could stop soon. But based off how TDI is behaving, I'm not expecting them to continue down. All right. So this is the range that I'm expecting them to reverse in. Just waiting on them to come up and see how they behave at this high right here, or potentially this high over here. Any questions? All right, moving on to EU. EU on a weekly time frame. So this essentially is the reference point for our reversal, meaning they could stop, right, retest this right here, this long wick, or they could come way up here, right, based off what TDI or the RSI is showing us now. TDI is at the market baseline right now. The 50 EMA is in a upwards motion, right, but based off of what RSI is showing us on a weekly time frame, I don't foresee them coming up much higher. They could come up just below, just above the market baseline and then continue down. But again, be aware of both of these long wicks, because they could, if the money is up there, they could continue up. All right, moving on to the day time frame. This again is the high of this leg, right? So this is our point of reference. If they violate this or exceed it, then we'll go back to this point, right, and just wait for the next setup. But as of right now, this is our point of reference. This is the range I'm expecting that reversal to happen. All right, TDI has already bounced off of or closed right above the market baseline, and it's on its way back up. So we'll see how they behave once they get over here. We'll move on to the 4-hour time frame. Again, 1, 2, they dropped right below the 50 EMA, right? TDI was above the bottom Bollinger Band. They came up, hit the market baseline, and they could continue to climb up. This giving us a completion of another level, right? That's what we're expecting. So we'll see how they behave once they come up here to this point, whether they exceed it or whether they just give us another leg and then continue down. All right, moving on to EJ. So looking at the weekly time frame on EJ, they have given us a peak, right? There's no retesting way over here. They're past that, right? They're past this point. So I had to zoom out and find their reference, their retest zone, and it's way over here. It could be here, right, exactly where they are now, but it could be up here. So I went ahead and highlighted that for us for this week. TDI is outside of the Bollinger Band and right below the the high level line right now. So we'll drop down to the day time frame. You see TDI hit the top Bollinger Band down at the market baseline, has slowly been climbing, right? Hasn't been a strong trend. A lot of short candles, right? On its way up to that range that I highlighted for our reversal. But it is a huge range. It doesn't look like it here, but if you look, that's a long ways up to this point. So on the daytime frame, it only captures the bottom of it. All right, but they've given us a sun, right? And TDI is hitting the top Bollinger Band now, retesting in the RSI. It's breaking even essentially on this in the RSI. The TDI line is. All right, drop down to the 4-hour time frame. TDI is closed right below the top Bollinger Band, right? Again, this price action has exceeded all of these previous hits or legs, right? So now this is our peak formation. They are currently in the zone for the reversal. It could happen any day now. All right, so we'll wait for that second leg, M, and then be looking to take a short position, right? Wait for them to drop. All right, AU on the daytime or weekly time frame. This is currently our important reference right here at this 000 line, this thick bold line. Waiting to see how they behave in this zone right here. Hopefully they just stop here at this this long candle right here. TDI is currently at the market baseline, right? Looking like it's wanting to cross over this red EMA on its way down now. So we'll drop down to the 1 hour time frame or day time frame. A lot of chopping, consolidation, right? No real trend. All of this is one zone. So they're at the 50 EMA now. You can see TDI's hit that market baseline on its way back up. So we'll see how they behave here, right? But I wouldn't be surprised if they exceed it, right, and retest here and make their way up here to this level here. Either way, this is our range, right? This is where we're looking for that reversal. All we're waiting on is the pattern. So we'll drop down to the 4 hour time frame. You see TDI is at that market baseline now, looking like it's going to continue down, right? And it's at the 50 EMA. So we'll just be waiting on that second leg. If they give us that second leg, we'll be looking for an entry. If they bounce off of this 13 EMA and continue up, then we know that they're coming up to retest either this level right here or this peak. All right. Any questions? All right. Moving on to AJ. Got about 3-4 more. All right. So on the weekly time frame for AJ, this is our point of reference right here. Again, at this 000 line, this thick bold line. Right, waiting to see how they behave in here and give us that pattern. Right now, they've issued a moon. Right, first leg, second leg, and I am pretty sure so far it's valid. Right, this outside structure right here is still valid. This second hit right here has not exceeded this first one. TDI is right below the top Bollinger Band and the high level line, right? But there's still some space in between the TDI and the top Bollinger Band, so they could continue to push up and retest this, right? Which will look like them hitting and then dropping. All right, we'll drop down to the 1 hour time or day time frame. A lot of sideways movement, no real trend, right? It's all within this outside structure here, following that 50 EMA, right? But eventually they're going to run out of room. So we're just waiting on that second leg, right? Come back up and retest. You see TDIs hit that market baseline and they're on their way back up now. That's what we like to see. All right, on 4 hour time frame, we got first leg, second leg now, right? This is all one level. And they came back up to retest right here at this 000 line. TDIs hit the market baseline. All right, we're just waiting on that second leg, waiting for them to give us that second leg, and then we'll continue short. If they do exceed this high right here, then we'll wait to see how they behave in between here and here and give us another pattern, right? They could give us a pattern right here at this 50 line or 00 line, excuse me. Look like M here and then come back up, retest, and then drop. All right, moving on to GC. GC on the week time frame. There's a lot of chopping. It's hard to tell where the reference is for that reversal, but TDI is currently outside or was outside the Bollinger Band, the bottom Bollinger Band, and it's on its way up to the market baseline. So they could come up to about the 13 or even stay at this, hit this or pin this 5 EMA again, the yellow one, and then continue down, giving us that second leg, which is rare on the weekly time frame. But we will drop down to the day. Our first leg, it came up and consolidated right along that 800 EMA, that blue line. You see that, and you see TDI is at that market baseline now. So we're waiting on them to come back down and retest. They might not come all the way back down here, right? They could stop here at this 00 line. They could stop here at this 000 line and continue up, but this is the range we're waiting for that second leg in. All right, moving on to, or drop down to the 4 hour time frame. You see TDI is riding along that market baseline now, but they're not far from that top Bollinger Band. So they could come up, right? False move week beginning, and then drop down here all week to retest this low. If they give us that that false move week beginning setup, then we'll take it down. We'll go ahead and ride it down here, and then this around this area will be our take profit, or if Friday comes, whichever comes first. All right, moving on to UC. UC we've been waiting on for a very long time. Looking at UC, right, they are basically bottoming out. Doesn't really look like it on the monthly time frame. TDI is blown outside the bottom Bollinger Band, right? But they're at this area to retest this previous low, right? So we'll drop down to the weekly time frame. They've given us a sun. TDI is blown outside the Bollinger Band on the weekly and hitting that low level line now. That's what we like to see. Drop down to the day time frame. We got a W here. First leg, second leg. TDI is back inside the bottom Bollinger Band. We're just waiting for them to come back down on the day time frame. So far, so good. First leg, second leg, a little consolidation. They pulled up some. They're right at that 13 EMA now. What I'm expecting for them to do is give us that false move week beginning, right, to come back down before taking off. It's got some room in between the TDI and the top Bollinger Band, so they might not come back down, right? They could continue to push up. So for this one, we'll drop down to the 1 hour. So there's our first leg, second leg on the 4 hour time frame. Price action is currently at this 50 EMA. It's past the 13, right, which validates the trend long, but it's at this 50 EMA now. TDI is currently hitting or approaching the market baseline at the mid-level line. So what I'm expecting for them to come back down and retest this low. Again, they could exceed this and come all the way back down and retest this low. But this right here is where I'm expecting them to stop for the week and give us that second leg, and then take off going long. I've got two more. All right, on UF, US dollar, and the Swiss. Zoom out a little bit. So there's a huge W on the weekly time frame, right? That is a lot of pips in between. That's about 170 from the first leg to the second leg. I'm not expecting them to come all the way back down and give us a crisp, even W, right? And TDI is already hitting that market baseline. I think is where our second leg is going to stop, right around this range here. You see they've given us a first leg, working on second leg on the day time frame, right along this 000 line, right? TDI is on its way back down to give us a second leg, a clear second leg on the RSI, but there's some space in between TDI and the bottom Bollinger Band, so they could come down here and give us a flush W. All right, we'll drop down to the 4 hour time frame. There's that W, the clearest picture, clear visual. First leg, second leg, and now we have that triangle in there, that pattern, right? TDI is right below that market baseline, so they could stop here and continue going long. So we will wait for, drop down to the 1 hour. They've given us first leg, right, and they've exceeded it. So we're just waiting on that second leg. It might happen tonight. We'll see how they behave tonight on this 1 hour time frames. So this leg has exceeded this previous one, so now this is our first leg. Waiting for them to come back down and retest it tonight before going long. All right. Any questions so far? All right. Moving on to the last pair for the night. On NU, we got first leg here, second leg. TDI is hitting that market baseline on the second leg now. Here we go, first leg, second leg. This is our outside structure, right? All these candles have closed below this wick right here. The TDI is coming back up to retest this now, so this is our range for the reversal for the week. All right, TDI has hit the market baseline and it's on its way back up. They could stop here at this red EMA, right, and continue dropping, or they could come up here towards the top Bollinger Band. All right, but we have a moon here on the day time frame, just waiting to see how they behave in this area here, waiting for that pattern. And that pattern we're looking for is a second leg on the 4-hour time frame. So here we go, our first leg. TDI is on its way down now, hitting that market baseline. They could stop there and continue up, right? Or they could continue down. So first leg, just waiting for a clear second leg in before dropping. All right, we will stop there for now. You have any questions? Nope. All right, I'll pass it off to Nick so he can go over his pairs.
That's a lot of pairs, bro.
That's a lot.
That was like a lot. Golly. All right, here we go. GU on the weekly time frame. I can see that you've already taken a look at this pair. So we're looking for short to go short this week. Yesterday or last week they extended the high. However, if you look down here at the RSI, right, first leg was here. This is the extension corresponding into this. It's not so sensitive. And it closed lower than this one, so that helps to reinforce it. Moving into the day time frame, we've had about 4 or 5 days of consolidation at this upper range. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're in our fourth now. So we've had about 4 days of consolidation in this upper range. TDI is back, came back up, right? Hit up towards the top Bollinger Band again, and almost towards the 50 level on the TDI. Is that the high level? Yes. Oh, that is the high level. Excuse me. I stand correct. That's even better, right? Let me zoom out so I can see that a little bit better. Almost back up towards the high level, giving us a sun on the day time frame. Moving into the 4-hour chart, right? Again, this is that consolidation period that I was just talking about, right? I like this box. I agree that that's where the range is going to be for GJ in terms of that retest. We came back up to the end of the week, hitting the market baseline on the 4-hour chart. So I don't think they're going to come back up much higher. I think the retest happened here, and that we can look for a clear M come on the day trading time frames, the hour and 15-minute charts. As you can see, we have our moon on the top end here and a moon on the bottom end here. So I like seeing that correlation there, right? Coming from a moon on the bottom into the moon on the top end to help confirm the trade is up and coming. So looking at the 15-minute chart, what I'd like to see is them to come out, retest the high of the day, which is up here during the end of Asian, beginning of London sessions, and then providing us that entry. I think this one could happen tonight. All right, moving on to GU. GU is even more promising, in my opinion.
It'll get larger as you zoom in.
Yeah, it's just weird the way that looks. So this is our first leg on the week time frame. Second leg, right? We have a moon, and we'll back up to where they came back up to retest all the way up to this high, this range right here. TDI is at towards the top Bollinger Band on the weekly time frame. As you can see, it's not exceeded this initial first leg, this peak. So that all looks very good. Moving into the day time frame, TDI popped out of the top Bollinger Band last week. Gave us a nice looking M here. 1, 2 legs, 1 then 2. So I think we have a pretty good opportunity to take this short. I'd like to try to see if we can't hold this for a few days. I think we should have at least a few days of drop coming ahead. Coming up ahead of us. But that's really going to be dependent on what happens tonight. We got obviously we have our moon here, right? And that corresponds from this moon on the bottom end and the sun, right? So it's been a smooth transition during that retest period from the weekly time frame. Moving down into the 4-hour chart. So we have this, I always forget what it's called, but it's a triangle created during a retest from our sun back up to this peak. This completes the M formation on the 4-hour chart, right? So I like seeing this. Again, I think we have an opportunity to take this short tonight, just like GJ. Would like to see them come back up and retest this high. I'll highlight that for you. Come back up and retest this peak right here. It might not come if they don't come back up as high. I can see them just coming back up to retest this range right here. But in the end, right, they're going to come back up and retest tonight, because as you can see, they're already at the market baseline on the 1-hour chart, so that helps to support the retest of the intraday levels. Missing one.
Oh, G and E.
Those didn't make my cut. Yeah, but I always cover them.
I always forget about those.
Yeah, real quick, right? So I'm going to pull up EG and GN, right? And so I don't really trade the pairs that much, but they help to confirm my directional bias sometimes with the other pairs that I'd like to trade. So I cover them because of that, and the reinforcement opportunities that they have. All right. So as you can see, let's move out to the daytime frame. We have our little formation that we just talked about, right? So we're looking for this trend is currently long, which helps to reinforce the directional bias of the other two pairs. When one is long moving up, the other ones are traditionally moving down. So if EG is moving up, traditionally GJ, GU, and a couple other pairs are moving down. So again, helps to really reinforce the directional bias. And you can see that because, again, right, we had our structure on the daytime frame. And they need to come back down to retest the low, right, which is the inverse of what we want to see for GJ and GU. TDI is all the way up to the 50 level, right? So looking for them to come down and retest this low before taking off long. Seeing that happen will again help to confirm the directional bias for the other two pairs. Excuse me. How you go, bro? You got GN in here? Okay. Well, that's okay. Yeah, you do.
It's in there.
It's in there.
Not
I'm gonna bring it up. That pair, but it's a heavy mover, as I like to say. 1 second while it loads in. Okay. GN has started its movement short. Pulling up the daytime frame, we're looking for a retest of the high, right? I'd like to see them come up and retest this level, preferably exceeding it, because we have a moon on this bottom end and a star on the top end. So just so you know, these are populated, they're weighted, right? So it's based off movement, volume, and where price action is in relation to the last indicator. So I'd like to see them come up and at least retest this high on the day time frame, this level right here, before continuing dropping. On the 4-hour chart, right, that's going to look like them coming back up to about in here. Let me kind of highlight this. Come up back up into here and painting us a level 1. So we'll see what happens. But it's the fourth pair that I cover this week because it is not my favorite. GU and GJ are clear favorites for me this week. These setups are just much more clear. All right, you got anything else from Javon? Okay, so as with always, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us in the group chat or send us a DM. Otherwise, we'll be back tomorrow night to give you our daily update at 8:30 Central Standard Time. Have a good night.